Basically, we're live online. Let's start, and I'm gonna play. Five minutes, everyone, 5 minutes. We're just waiting for everyone to come and join in. This is 5 minutes. Please invite your friends to come and join. Hello, Elizabeth. I hope you emailed. I emailed you back, and I hope you replied. I haven't looked at my emails yet. So thank you for being here, Elizabeth. Okay, great, Elizabeth. I will go look and see what you replied and then respond. And then, yeah, looking forward to that. Thank you for everyone who's joining. Thank you, Alan. That's how we roll it. We make it happen. We're almost starting. Please invite your friends so we can almost start. And yeah, Alan, I will look a little bit friendlier. Wow, we have someone from all the way from Germany. Hello, Leon. Hello, from Germany, Frankfurt. Then we have Jeanette from Cape Town, Pretoria, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Stellenbosch. Yeah, Stellenbosch as well. Hello, Stellenbosch, Pretoria. Okay, we're just waiting. People are joining in. Welcome. For those who want to join, come in. We're waiting. We're just going to start. Okay, we're starting in 2 minutes. While we're waiting for Graham, start moving it. Let's get ready. Love you too, Alan. Yes, thank you. While we're waiting, just quickly, just put your name in, where you're from, and what you're looking forward to this talk. Do you know Graham? If you know Graham, pop it in the chat box. If you don't, say you're looking forward to learning from him tonight. So just maybe add that. One minute, Graham, if you are ready, get ready. 1 minute, we're starting. Charmaine, all the way from Port Elizabeth. Welcome, Charmaine. Well, lucky to have you here. Okay, 40 seconds. We're going to start almost. We're just waiting for people to come in and join. They only start at 7 o'clock, so we're looking forward for them to join us tonight at 7. Alan from Magaliesburg. At my age, I still can learn from everyone. I love that. Sonia, all the way from Durban. Hello, everyone. Great stuff. Thank you for commenting. Okay. Okay, well done. Time is up. I think it's basically at 7 o'clock now. We're starting in. I see Alan says he's 73 years old. I think that is a really amazing thing that someone at 73 years old is willing to learn how to get onto a webinar and learn. He's also joined my Hero Experts Academy. He will send, soon we will get the login details, my friend, and he's open to learning new skills and new tools. So what is your excuse? What stops you from taking it to the next step? And the same with my friend here tonight, Graham Lartachan, all the way from Port Elizabeth. And, just to give you a little bit of him, he has a master's in business and administration. He has an honors degree in policing practice. He has a cum laude. He has a bachelor in technology. And man, this guy has a pedigree this long. It will take me the whole night to read it all. But his talk tonight, it's all about like it or not, the world is a different place. He's going to teach you tonight how you can actually adapt to this world. What will happen if you don't adapt? Will this all go away? Like some nightmare maybe? What will happen, if you don't take action? What will the outcome be? Is there hope? Do you need help? And I think this is why Graham is here tonight. To come and share with you some of his way of adapting to this way of living in this life that we call COVID-19. And some call it the new normal. Is it the new normal? I don't know. I'm looking forward. So everyone, Graham, the floor is yours. It's 1 minute past 7. It's time for you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What do you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. You can speak away.
So just before I start, let's give us some comments here if the people can hear. So we got all our technicalities right. Cobus, great to be here. Cool, I can see them coming through. Awesome, great, thanks, Alan. Okay, so Cobus, I don't want you to run away, huh? I want you to stick around. You're going to hold my hand through this whole process, right? You there? Are you there? Are you there? Cool. Awesome. Greetings,
I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. I'm greeting you all the way from PE. It's nice and chilly here by us. We had a beautiful day today. One of the few days for us in Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape. The winter days are phenomenal. They're so lekker sunny, and you don't have too much wind blowing around. For the rest of the yard, the wind blows the hell out of us. So we're very appreciative of some of the calm days. And I've spent most of the day preparing for this, so I'm absolutely honored to have this platform. Thanks, Cobus. I'd like to first acknowledge all my fellow speakers, some great minds out there. You guys have got to tune in and listen to what they've got to say. Pay tribute to them. They're phenomenal leaders in their fields, so please take the time. Also, Cobus, to you, I just want to give you a great tribute. Fantastic for putting this platform together. You're one of the leaders in the industry, and I really appreciate it. It's great to be next to you and on the same platform to you. To all my supporters, thank you very much. It's difficult, Cobus, to get support nowadays, and really and truly, I just want to thank all. I highly appreciate it. But are you okay? Can we get started? Are you ready? Can you all hear me? Good, sharp. Let's go. All right. So my talk this evening is about adapting in volatile and uncertain and very complex times. No doubt, that's where we are right now. And I've taken that term from what I call VUCA. It's not mine. It's an acronym. VUCA is an acronym, and I'm going to quickly go into it with you and just unpack some of the theory around that. So VUCA means something different, very different to everybody. It depends mostly on your perception and your immediate experience, and VUCA affects us differently depending on your circumstances and also the industry or the environment that you are in. So if we look at COVID today, just let's have a look at it for a second. This is where we are now. This is an environment that we're in. Okay, so we're living in a VUCA world. Whether we like it or not, no doubt, this is a VUCA world. Resistance is futile. I just love that term, Cobus. I'm going to use it quite often. And I often say that many people that I talk to say, Graham, no, you use it too much. But what the hell? Let's go for it. Resistance is futile. And what we've got to understand is that this is where rapid and very unpredictable, shall I say, change has become the norm. You said it earlier, the normal or the new normal. And this will not stop. Whether we like it or not, where we are right now is not going to stop at all. You are in denial if you think it will. So you might as well get on the bus as far as I'm concerned. So let's unpack the theory quickly. V stands for volatile. Change nowadays is very violent. very violent, and it's uncontrollable. The world isn't fixed as we know it. We can't predict the future at all. We don't know what's going to happen. And there is definitely, it's not a clear or crystal path ahead of us, because we just can't see the future anymore. Things are so violent and uncontrollable. And if we look at the U in VUCA, that stands for uncertain. Many of you already know this, so I'm not teaching you anything new or trying to bring anything new, but U stands for uncertain. This is where you've got a very unpredictable future. It means when you cannot prepare for it at all, under any circumstances. We can't get perfect information. We have to navigate, not knowing what might happen. And no matter how much data we collect, basically we just don't know. We can collect all the data nowadays. We don't know. Let's have a look at the C. The C stands for complex. So complex, that's when so much is happening. There's so much going on around us. It's simply chaotic. It's confused, out of the book. Let me tell you, this is just another name for change. That's all it is. The problem is that for the average people in business nowadays, change is very, very difficult to navigate. I want you to, if you've got some time, listen to Michael Jackson, the other Michael Jackson, one of the guys that I rigorously follow. And he's one of the world leading speakers on change. He simply says that, and I'm going to read it for you quickly, that change is a sequence of events, really. Example, if you change one thing, okay, you may affect the whole, or you may affect a whole lot of other things inside your business. For instance, if you are going to reorganize your organization, you will affect your culture, you'll affect your leadership, and you might even affect the way your produce or your product or your service is then rolled out. In essence, they're very interconnected. It's like a minefield out there. It displays that kind of minefield. It's what fuels that complexity that I'm talking about, and it often sinks our ships. So we fear change. This is not an uncommon issue. The A stands for ambiguous. So when we look at ambiguity, or ambiguity for that matter, we lack clarity. What happens is it's hard to identify perhaps the root cause of problems, those problems that are overwhelming us, thereby causing us a lot of confusion. And this is what ambiguity is all about. We may be able to see things happening in the environment, but we just don't know what it means. We may see effects, but we also don't understand them. So it looks very depressing right now, Kobus. It's gloomy. It's almost unbelievable for that matter. But let me tell you that what's happening right now in the world, what's happening right now, it's not the new normal. So that answers your question right in the beginning. I don't believe it. I think it's rubbish. I absolutely believe that term, I don't see it at all. I thought it was the case a few months ago when everybody started saying, oh, this is the new normal. This is the next normal. I even had a video about that. But the more I adapt, the more clarity I get. It's just another setback. This is all it is that we are going through right now. It's another issue. It's another problem. It's an obstacle. It's a dilemma. It's a challenge. COVID, for me, is just a blip on the screen. It will pass. Yes, it is tragic. Yes, it is real to some degree. No doubt, there's a lot of suffering. No doubt, there's loss of life. But in the greater scheme of things, why are we resigning our mindsets to fear this virus and all the other issues that are coupled with it? I just don't understand it all the time. It's very hard for me to comprehend that, especially for somebody who tries to remain positive all the time. Why are we subjecting ourselves always to the mainstream media where we cannot even tell the difference between fake and real news anymore? Apparently Facebook, I don't know if this is true, I think they want to bring out an app to determine what's fake or not. I mean, we can't even get rid of viruses on computers. And yet the world, is in the lockdown. And it's like it's causing havoc on so many levels that we cannot comprehend the reality or the gravity of where we find ourselves. Now the social issues, let's just go there for a second. It needs to be said, which recently, I think they rebirthed in the USA. It's gone out of control, and clearly there are other agendas out there for want or lack of a better term. That seems to be taking center stage. People have gone insane, absolutely crazy. The hate in this world, the violence in our world, the intolerance in our world is what makes it VUCA. That's what I'm seeing. And at the center of it, right in the middle of it, is you and me, human beings. I believe that we are actually the virus in many terms. You know, if you think I'm talking nonsense, I want you to listen to this. I found this the other day, and it doesn't belong to me. I came across it on social media for that matter. I think many of you read it. Now, I want you to take a second, just a minute or two. Take a breather. Okay, cool. Here we go. If you, or just imagine you were born in the year 1900. Write that down if you haven't got, if you've got a pen or paper near you. You were born in the year 1900. Cool, got it? Awesome. Lekker. Right. Now, soon after, well, let me start sort of in the beginning. When you're 14, World War I breaks out. It begins and it ends when you are 18, with 22 million people dead. Soon after, global pandemic, Corbus, you spoke about this morning, the Spanish flu. It appears it kills about 50 million people worldwide. And you are alive and now 20 years old. When you're 29, you survive the global economic crisis that started with the collapse of that New York Stock Exchange, causing inflation, unemployment, famine on a global scale. When you are 33 years old, the Nazis come to power. From there, by the time you're 39, World War II begins, and it ends when you're 45, and about 60 million people die. 6 million of those Jews in camps in the Holocaust. When you're about 64, the Vietnam War breaks out. It begins and ends when you're about 75. I think that was the Korea War. So 75 years of term. Yes. Can you hear me?
We just lost you for a second there. So,
all right. So where must I go back?
Just a sentence back.
Can I start? When
two sentences back.
Okay, 2 sentences back. So I'm going to go back to when you're about 39 years old. Is that cool? Can you hear me? Awesome. All right. Okay. So when you're about 39, World War II begins. You got that, Kobus? Have you got that?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Yes.
And now we here we go. Now it seems to be, maybe I'm talking too fast for the for the computer internet speed. All right. Okay. So, you know, by all accounts, a child born in 1985 thinks that their grandparents have had, have no idea about how difficult their lives were when they've lived through like multiple wars and catastrophes. You know, today we have all the comforts in the world, all of the new comforts that we can possibly have. You know, amid this new pandemic, we complain because we need to wear masks. We complain because we must stay confined to our homes. We have food, most of us. We have Wi-Fi, internet. We have Netflix and DSTV and all these luxuries. None of that existed back in the day. But humanity survived those circumstances and never, ever, 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 ever lost their joy for living. Never. So what we need is a very small change in our perspective. We can generate miracles if we just change a few things, the way we do things, change our mindsets. We need to be very thankful. We need to be very grateful that we are alive. That's the one thing I speak about every day, is the fact that we're alive. We should do everything that we need to do to be able to protect one another. Now, if this, Kobus, doesn't shock you, let me quickly tell you something. If this doesn't rattle you, let me send more shock waves. Today, right now, today, I was looking on the internet when I was busy preparing. So that's where I got it. I Googled it. And as I often do when I do a lot of these speaking engagements, 14,000 people died today because of hunger. It's 2020, and we are scrambling for a vaccine for COVID, yet we have not even solved starvation. I mean, we are light years away from that. It's not even news anymore. It's been with us for millennia, and we are in so much denial that we don't even care about it anymore. But yet, the only people that speak about it are on privileged platforms like political issues, etc., on those events that we don't ever get to. 550,000 people this year alone, 2020, committed suicide. We're not even halfway, or at least we are just gone past. It's more than all the COVID cases. I'm willing to stake my reputation, guys. I want to tell you this. I'm willing to stake my reputation on a block right now that the suicides are because of people who cannot adapt to the hell and the curveballs that life throws at it. It's very difficult. So what am I saying? You cannot escape it. As I said in the beginning, resistance is futile. You can't get away from it. Setbacks, catastrophes, diseases, you name it, recessions, disruptions, call it what you want. They will be here long after you and I are gone. Here's a short story I want to tell you quickly. Give me a quick sip here. A short story quickly, in case you don't know it. And it's not new news. Streaming of videos and television series, for that matter. Video and movies that put millions of video shops out of business. Dead. Gone. Not a ripple effect, or shall I say the ripple effect, note the ripple effect that it had on all the other organizations out there. For instance, the salesmen, the video cassette companies, the production companies, all these kinds of people, the people that were in the video shops themselves, people that were employed through those, gone overnight within a year or two, and we didn't even blink an eye. We offered no help. No one came to the rescue. Small businesses they were. No relief funds. No SMS or SMME bailouts, nothing. Imagine how they might have been or were feeling at that time while we all did somersaults backwards because, we were streaming videos, saving ourselves some money, saving ourselves the trip to the video shop. We lost a culture overnight. Let me tell you about my story quickly. It's about last year, towards the end of the year. If I could just, I've sort of made a few notes that I can just keep my track. We were 4 years, my wife and I, Charmaine. She's also my business partner in our consulting company. About 4 years ago, we started our business, 4 to 5 years. So in the making, it took us about 4 years to achieve what we have basically wanted to achieve this last year in 2019. It was about October. And finally, we received the call that we had been awarded a phenomenal tender. A phenomenal tender. I mean, it's the stuff that dreams are made of. 4 years in the making. I could have paid my car off. I could have paid my house off. It was a lot of work, make no mistake. It wasn't all about the money, but it was almost that one leap. All the hard work that you've put in for years and years and years came down to that one tender. So we were stoked. And it was something surreal to us. Finally, we'd achieve. I mean, I'm getting older. You won't say it. I use all these fancy creams my wife gives me. But, it's where you really want to be. It's almost like, yes, I've arrived. The client said to us, listen, you've got the tender, but please, we just need your tax clearance certificate. No problem, we said. We are fine. We're okay. We contacted our tax consultant the next day. And that's when all hell broke loose. Someone had somehow preloaded another PAYE number. If there's any international guests, it's a tax number that's associated to your name. So that someone had loaded another number onto our profile. Consultant said to us, no worries, we can get this off in a few days. Boom, weeks turned into months. Months turned into almost a year. It is still not resolved. I lost business. Charmaine and I lost business like you cannot believe. It just continued to actually have that snowball effect. We eventually lost our company. It's still gone. It's in limbo. A while ago, just before COVID, SARS phones us and says, hey, you've got to pay VAT. I didn't know, should I fall on the ground and roll in laughter, kind of thing, or should I just use this very descriptive text that I sometimes use when I get to a freak out moment? All I could do was really that. I had to console myself. Let me tell you something. We have just never recovered. And when COVID hit us, the writing was on the wall for our business. We've also got a consultancy company, so that is still carrying on. But our training company, boom, gone. Okay, so it had a ripple effect, and it just pushed us deeper and deeper into the underworld. I lost all my life policies. We've lost our medical aids. We've lost all our investments that we had in terms of savings and those things like retirements. Our car insurance lapsed. I haven't paid my bond in 4 or 5 months. Our car, it's like we haven't even been able to meet those installments. It's become extremely, extremely difficult. But I had to adapt. We had to adapt. Shemaine and I had to adapt very quickly. And I can tell you these stories because they're real. And we couldn't stay lying down. We had to find alternative means. Thank heavens for some phenomenal clients, one or two that helped us with some assessments and moderations that kept the lights on. And I eventually had to start selling my furniture off, which is still ongoing. We're selling some of our collector items that we've had, that we've invested over tens of years. And this is how we've had to adapt and be able to, shall I say, keep the lights on, as I was speaking about that. You know, it's amazing. We got no relief, nothing from anybody. We had help from some friends who assisted us, godly friends of us. But at the end of the day, we've been able to adapt through making some small incremental changes in our lives. But that's not where I want to go, actually. You know, as it stands, I want to tell you now, we've got about a month and a half left. But I want to say this to you. You know, if something falls from the sky, I'm grateful, but I'm not worried about it at all, because it's what adaptation is all about. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like you're giving us a lot of depressing, sort of highly pessimistic kind of news, Graham. But you need to understand that, the speakers on these platforms are real people. They'll tell you real stories. And it's not trying to sell you anything. It's trying to share with you what people are going through so that you're not alone in this whole process. I don't want you to think I'm a pessimist because, your personal or my personal professional chaos is like affecting only me. There are millions of people out there that are going through the same troubles. But I want to tell you what's the secret and how I got through that. So how I've been able to adapt. Here goes. I have two different dimensions. I call them emotion detectors. Sounds a bit corny, I know. Don't laugh. But I start with, this is how I do it. I start with the belief that I have this infinite mindset. Okay? An infinite mindset. It provides me some calm and some confidence. If you listen to Simon Sinek, you'll hear him speak about this often. And I sort of realized that if I've got that calm and confidence, I can really come out at the end of these days of thunder. That's what it's about for me. Now, in some of those circumstances, yeah, sure, I've lost some battles. I mean, I have some scars. I've bled a little bit. I've suffered. I may never, ever be the same again, ever, but I'm alive. This is what's key, which means that what you did or what I did yesterday, I need to adapt today if it didn't work so that I can change it and start it again tomorrow. Every day I try something and it's not working in the next day, I then go back to the drawing board. Many of you have vision boards. I have that drawing board effect because it's not easy out there at all. So I base those two dimensions, first and foremost, on the unavoidable fact, if I can call it that, the unavoidable fact that someone out there is worse off than me right now. And my problems, my VUCA, for that matter, is like a cakewalk to some people. So I don't want you to get me wrong at all. I want to say this to you. It's okay to freak out. It's okay to freak out. It's okay to lose it. Just go. Lose it sometimes. It's okay to drop down to your knees and say, why me? It's okay. It's okay. But I just don't want you to move in there. This is very important. It's almost spiritual. You can visit that freak out space, but don't ever move in. Don't pay rent, please. Don't receive your mail there. Do a short walkabout tour if you have to. Just do that walkabout tour kind of thing. Have a checkout, see what's going on. But let me tell you now, get the hell out of there as quick as possible. Because if you don't, you're in serious trouble. Now, from that one dimension, I'm getting to it right now. From that one dimension, I apply the following two principles in life. Religiously. And I consider them the universal laws. They are like the ultimate belief systems to success and adaptation. Okay? And this is what they are. Number one, whatever you do, don't underestimate the law of attraction in life. Please, never ever. What you sow, you will reap. What you sow, you will reap. Don't underestimate the law of attraction. Number two, never ever underestimate the power of collaboration, that togetherness, that place where you network with people. Share when you can, folks. Share when you can. It will come back to you 7 times 7 times 7, if that's the right number. Even if you don't see it, and I can prove this. It's happening to me. It happens to me on a regular basis. It happens to my wife, Shemaine, on a regular basis. Okay, sweet. Now, from those two universal laws to adapt in times of disruption. Okay, so there's the one dimension, which is sort of like in the top, and then those are divided into what I have two different kind of, those two different universal laws. Now, to adapt in times of disruption, hopefully it will help you. And I concede, I agree, I concede that, not everyone will buy into this, and it may not apply to you, maybe very well off. Who knows? But these tips come from people that have been in the business long before me and have done it in ways that we can't even imagine. They've been there and they've done it. So I've got about 15 of them. I'm going to read them off the list if you don't mind, because I want to get them right. Okay, you there? You ready? Got? Awesome. Thanks for all the cool. Yes, there's some fantastic messages. Right, here we go. 15 of them. Nearly done. Number one, stop worrying about the future. You may not even be in it. One day at a time, that's what you've got. That's what you're gifted. You may not be in the future. Stop worrying about it. You're wasting time. Number two, help someone right now. You've got to help someone all the time. If not for anything, for your soul, for your mind, your body, your spirit. Help someone right now, because someone is starting at day one. Right now. Give someone what you have, or some of what you have. You'll get it back somehow, somewhere, someone, in some day. Number three, hustle. My mate, Dr. Charles Carter, him and I hustle, man. I tell you something. I'll tell you something about hustle. I do a lot of collaborative working with other trainers and facilitators and speakers out there. And sometimes I'm approached by a client to do some business, but I can't be there. So I get someone else to do the job. That way I'm sharing, that way I'm hustling, and they get paid, let's say, X amount, and I get paid a small little commission. Hustle. Or you will starve. It's as simple as that. You need to understand that life will not meet you halfway. You need to move. You need to move faster. Otherwise, you'll die. Simple as that. Let's go on to the next one. And I know Kobus is a superhero, and I've got I've got the Iron Man t-shirt on here. I can't claim Superman anymore, but be that as it may. There are no superheroes. Don't wait for them, people. You can't wait for superheroes. You are the waymaker. You are the superhero. And that's the infinite mindset that I have. I believe that I'm the superhero of my entire choice living. That's what it's about for me. And remember, it has to start with you. You have to close the sale. If you listen to Vusi, I follow Vusi quite regularly. I know many of you know who he is. He'll tell you straight away. He walks into the office some days, and business is slow. And he says to them, hey, emails are not going to work. Well, what you have to do is phone the client. Phone them, talk to them until you close a sale, until you get going. And if you want to change your business, you've got to adapt by being able to integrate and intermingle and connect with people, collaboration. Next one, expect, and let me rephrase it, expect the best, but prepare for the worst. Sounds weird. It's called Planning 101. Know that you're having a safety net inside your plans. I promise you now, will save you always. It'll at least buy you some time. That's what I'm trying to say. So I often go, when somebody asks me at the beginning of the year, Graham, what's your New Year's resolutions? I said, I'm expecting the best, but I'm preparing for the worst. Boom, 3 months later, COVID hit us. Hell, that knocked us off our feet, the breath out of our sails, so to speak. And let me tell you another one. Turn off the news. Turn up the music and dance. This is what life is about. 80% of the news is crap. Absolutely rubbish. It will depress you. You must hear Shamaine when I'm sitting sometimes and I've got to switch on the news. Why are you watching that? Switch it off. It's going to depress you. And she's right. And I promptly switch it off and then I start watching something else. If I have to be informed, I'm saying be informed, but not conformed. Let's go to the next one. I love this one. Storms are gifts. Storms are gifts. If not for the storms, you will become very complacent. You'll find a comfort zone that you can't get out of. You won't adapt. You won't evolve. You cannot grow. You won't learn. Storms are gifts for us. I love storms. It tests my sails. It tests my resilience, which I'll talk about on the 15th. Failure is a bruise. It's not a tattoo. Remember that one. Failure is a bruise. It's not a tattoo. What more can I say on that? Let's move on. Adopt the butterfly effect. Now, that means something for different people. But I like to call it the butterfly effect mindset, if I can call it that. The theory is that small changes can lead to big changes or big things happening. You won't know until you put things into motion to trigger those emotion sensors. Cool. The next one I want you to do is, if you're going through hell, keep going. You've got to keep going. Don't stop. And I want to tell you now, even if you're going through hell, at least it's going to be one hell of a ride when you come out on the end. But you can't give up. You're not the only one. I want you to see crisis. This is one of my key points that I teach many of my students and some of the top managers that I've dealt with in South Africa. I want you to see a crisis as a blessing. I was always taught when I worked for government for many, many years, they used to say to me, well, you shouldn't crisis manage. And I used to think, yeah, sure. I mean, it sounds correct. But I want to tell you now, when I changed careers and I started getting onto these platforms and started sharing a different message with people, I realized that crisis is a good thing. Crisis is a phenomenal thing for you to learn. I want to tell you what it does. It's actually a blessing. It will build your professional, it will build your personal, and also build your spiritual immune system. Think about it for a second. We're nearly there. Navigate. I want you to navigate away from that imposter syndrome. You know, that syndrome inside your head that makes you freak out and you stay there. You've got to get away from that. It will control every emotion that you have, and eventually your choices will just define your character. You've got to get out of that. I want you to stick to the basics. Kuba said that this morning, sticking to the basics. I think Chantal had something to say about that too. You've got to stick to the basics. You can't have technicalities going on in your life. You can't be too technical with things. It will hamper your adaptation time. It takes time to adapt. Therefore, you've got to be basic in your approach. Stick to what works. You cannot keep your head down. I love this one. You cannot keep your head down in a headwind, or else you're not going to see where you're going. And while you are going, go the extra mile, guys, because out there, it's never crowded. So those are my 15 tips. There's a lot of science around this, and I don't want to deal with it. It's not rocket science. Being able to adapt in volatile, uncertain, and very unpredictable and complex times, it's not rocket science. It's about an infinite mindset. And that mindset will clarify your journey. It will clarify. It's life-changing. Life can never be the same. You know, Kobus, I think if you're still listening to you, as the saying goes, when the going tough, the tough get going. That's what it's about. It's a great song. I don't know if you've heard it before. As I stand here right now, I was saying to my son yesterday, we went fishing. I must tell you the story about adaptation. Quickly, nearly done. I must tell you a story about this. I went to, Shamaine and I went out to my son. He's a farmer out in the Karedo district. Oh, beautiful out there. And the wind was pumping. It was a westerly wind. And nobody will fish in that weather, for that matter. Not him, though. Because he's learned to adapt how to be able to fish successfully in weather like that. And so anyway, we went out for the day, and I thought, well, let me spend a bit of time with him fishing. And it wasn't long. Boom, and he was in. And he caught a lovely galjoen. I don't know what that is in English. Please bear with me. And I looked at him. I said, yeah, this is phenomenal. So what happened was I had to find my spot around where he was fishing because I didn't want him to upstage me. Luke, I think Luke is listening. It's my boy. And and he was back in the water, and eventually I threw in with my rod, and the hook and the sinker went flying into the ocean, landed somewhere near Australia, and my line snapped. Quickly took off the reel, had to adapt, had to make quick changes. People are watching. I need success. And as I changed the reel and I went through the whole process of rigging the line up, and about 10 minutes later, boom, I threw into the water, and we're sitting there, and we're just shooting the breeze, and minutes later, wow, I was in. Got a lovely mussel cracker. And we were out of there. And he laughed at me. He still said to me, yeah, Dad, on an old hook, a rusted hook, you catch a fish. Adaptation. And that's the whole idea around here. I want to tell you, specifically, let me remind South Africans what we're facing right now. Just for a second as we end off. What you're facing right now, there are recessions. Within recessions, we're in junk status right now. The economy, guys, it's collapsing. It's making life more expensive out there. There's political lunacy going on. Unqualified leadership, for that matter. It's on an epic scale. It's uncontrollable crime. Unemployment will touch 60% by next year. Mark my words. Sounds negative. If not more, there are droughts, water crisis, and don't forget what's coming for us. Load shedding. South Africans will know what that is. There's corruption on scales we can't even imagine. There's division in our society, all across the world for that matter. So I want to tell you now, you need to toughen up. Kobus said it phenomenally this morning. Don't blame government. Don't blame your neighbors. Don't blame the business managers. You've got to look within yourself. You've got to change. You've got to adapt. I'm not trying to motivate you. If I don't adapt each day, I won't put a plate of food on my table. It's as simple as that. The idea is not to scare you here or to cause panic. What we need to do is to see these disruptions as opportunities. Just want to move on. I just want to say to you that in times like this, Kobus, you can come back in. I can see you there. In times like this, guys,
yeah, I'm here.
One of the best things to do in our lives right now is to adapt. Remember, I want to say this to you right now as I end off. The idea here is not to scare you. The idea here is to change your attitude about thinking that this is the new normal. It's not the new normal. It's actually very, very, very normal. Disasters and things have been around forever. But we have the power within us to be able to make those changes. And that's my message to you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And cool. Where are you, Kobus? Is there anything that anybody wants to ask me? Cool. I hope you enjoyed that.
I'm here, Graham. It was powerful. I think the feedback is more than, yes, it's crazy. The chat box went on how amazing you are. Let's quickly run down, Okay, guy, love the Iron Man shirt by Sonia. Love the Iron Man. Nice to be here by a guy by the name of Coach Sonia. Ask reference to Michael Wu. I think you said in the beginning there was
the other Michael Jackson. Yes, the other Michael Jackson.
The other Michael Jackson. Great stuff. Okay,
you're not the dancer.
It says, "Go, Graham. Well done." Sonia also says. So here's a question. So how do we get out of this VUCA or distance ourselves from it?
You cannot. Remember, I said that in the beginning. VUCA is a part of your life. It's a brilliant question because VUCA is actually the term that they use, that management and leaders, in companies, strategists, they use that in companies to predict, display, forecast their business models on. I've taken that away from business and put it into our overall lives. So you can't get away from it because volatility will always be there. Complexity will always be there. It's just getting harder to understand it. So you can't get away from it, but you can mitigate that. Infinite mindset.
Great stuff. And then Alan says, Graham, your energy and enthusiasm is outstanding. RC or resistant to change has been around for years. We have always been in cotton wool comfort zone, which was always warm. To go outside is chilly and an adventure. Yes. Sonia says, Graham, fine and clear my side. Okay, yes, Quivers. Thank you, Sonia. Agree on starvation. It angers me by Sonia. Renee says, thank you, Graham, for putting it in a good perspective. And Sonia says, enjoying you, Graham, so much. Alan says, what a realist. You don't just rock, you are the whole mountain. I love that. Well said, Alan. Sonia says,
comments now.
There's more. Yes, we are all affected that way. And a galjoen is a gallon.
Thank you.
Francois, thank you, Francois. Tambaleni says, great session, Graham. Wow, what a great session. Thank you for building us up. Sonia says, awesome, Graham. Great enthusiasm. Thank you, Rian, my friend. Crystal says, thank you. It was great. Can hear you, Quivers. Great. Thank you for that. Graham, you are the bomb, man. You can explode and touch the whole world. Francis says, agree on the Ironman shirt. Thank you, Graham. Awesome session. So adapt and stay positive. And then the next one, here's a question.
Yes,
Your first point is to stop worrying about the future, but should we not have an idea of what the future looks like?
Cool. That's a great question. First and foremost, I stick by my point. Stop worrying about the future. It doesn't mean to say that you must not plan for the future. I think that's where the question's going. And if I'm wrong, please, who was it? I can't read the name, but Ian Hell. I think it's
Howell from Old Mutual, yes.
Cool. You're welcome to contact me on a personal mail, and I'm happy to debate it with you. But yes, quite correct. I stick by the point. I'll go back there and say, listen, you must not worry about the future, because you might not be in it. You know, Kobus, a day tomorrow is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed at all. We cannot say. I said just now, at the end of the month I might be bankrupt. Who the hell knows? But at the end of the day, we can't rely on those predictions to be able to build ulcers, right now. But at the same time, of course, you must plan. Do preparations. I think.
Okay, so that is Ian. His name is Ian, and so one thing, Ian, I also want to say, what we do can actually form our destiny. We have this belief that we can actually change our tomorrow. Correct. So yes, what the world looks like, that can be a reality, and that can be something we can think about. But we have the power to transform that reality of the future. 100%. And if you come and listen to my story as well, from ending up being in a wheelchair to go climbing the highest mountain, I transformed the reality by my mindset and the way I plan for the future. Yes, it is the reality of where our future looks like, but we have the power to change it by what we do today. Am I right, Graham?
100%. I mean, I won't even elaborate on that.
Okay. Freddie says, worrying is like sitting on a rocking chair. It gives us something to do, but it takes us nowhere. I love that. Perfect. That is a quote for a picture. I'm going to use that.
Awesome.
It's okay with you, Francois. Freddie. Francois says, think knowing what the future will hold will only make us stress or relax too much and prevent you from actually reaching your goal. I love that. I think, what do you think? That is a powerful saying.
Yeah, complacency.
The next one, plan and don't worry. Rather take action for the future. I say, Jan, think about this. It's like planting a seed.
Correct.
We don't know if it's going to bring a harvest or not, but we have that faith to do on a daily basis, to look after it, to wet it, to nurture it.
Yeah.
To the end of the day, get a harvest. And some of the time, our seeds bring us a big harvest, and sometimes don't. But we have to have that faith.
That's correct. Good point. And that's, by the way, agriculture will save our problems.
Yeah.
By the way.
Francois says, fear keeps you a prisoner. Hope sets you free. My personal motto. Thank you, Francois. I love that.
I agree with that 100%. Well said.
Ian says you answered his question, by the way. So just the guy, Ian Howell from Old Mutual, you answered it. Renee says true words. Francois says, okay, Francois said, Alan says, yesterday is gone, tomorrow and gone, tomorrow may never come. So live for now.
Yeah, that's the reality of life, Kobus.
Okay. So great. I know you have a few freebies. How can people get a hold of you to get the freebies? I know on your speakers page, on your talks, there is the freebies. They can go access it there. But, maybe put your email address in where they can email you to get a free consultation, but also other freebies that you are promising.
Yes, 100%. So what I've offered is, and sorry, I'm getting a bit old in life, but I've offered, I think for the first 10 emails or so that I get, I'm giving my change management online e-program away for free. It's where I am physically presenting it as well with slideshows and a manual that goes with that. So you can use that to your benefit. It's about change. I'm also offering some online coaching for the people that are online and that have registered as well. like a 20 to 30-minute coaching session at no cost to them at all. So I'm giving that away. Just to, the whole idea here, Kobus, is to collaborate and network with people. I might learn something from them. I mean, that's key for me. So I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. Maybe I can get something from them. And I think that's what I'm giving away, one or two, let's call it mutual coaching sessions. And then I've offered for people that are interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel as well, please, as well as emailing me. I'm offering my emotional intelligence, emotional resilience course. Normally sells about 1,000 Rand because it's online. I'm offering that at 50% discount, 500 Rand per person. And what happens is you pay that and off you go with the email. I'll send you a link. You access your course. And after that, we have a free live coaching session for about 40, 45 minutes as well. That's what I've got.
Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, cool. Go for it.
Yeah, let's. If there's anyone else that has questions while we're on here, we have a few minutes still left, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So if any of you are still on that wants to ask a question, please do.
Yes, ask the question.
Just want to check.
Cool. I'm getting too old to jump around like this.
I'm just checking to see if I can add something, but it doesn't look like.
A mail from Elizabeth, from Kobus. I see you've put that on there. Yes, there's a few emails. Yes, guys, send them on. I'm happy to be there. Assistance. This is the time. We've really and truly got to link with one another. We've got to collaborate. It is the key to survival in today's times. Thanks, Sonia.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think also if everyone wants to, go and find Graham on Facebook. I think I have your link somewhere.
Yes.
But I think it's to go like you at least on there. The more support we have, the better.
Yeah, it's just, and don't laugh at my CD. I recorded a CD as well. So if you Google my name, you'll find that there first. Go to the next one where you see my YouTube page or my Facebook page. But please interact with me. I'd love to hear from you. Can't wait. Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat box.
Great feedback. That's so cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Graham. I think I learned a lot tonight. I think one thing that I learned is that the energy is powerful. We need to have a powerful and give nuggets. Thank you for tonight sharing yourself. I'm very honored to be with you. When we met, I don't know, I think you connected with me online, and then we just built a relationship. And then our mutual friend Robbie, the radio guy, introduced us. And look at where we are now. We don't know what the future holds, but this is seeds that we've been planting, and I'm looking forward to building something for the future. For those who are watching, we're planning something big coming forward. This is for us a learning process of what we're doing now. For me, it's important that we improve on the way others are doing live feeds like this, because we want to give you value. We want to help you to succeed. I think that is the one thing, because I have this learning that if we help each other, we both get successful. And I think that is. Loretta says, thank you for your input, and worrying can be positive if I can do something about the problem. Let our sun shine through.
Yes, sure. I'll concede to that. Loretta's smart. That's fantastic.
Okay, so any last words from you, Graham?
Man, I just want to say thank you.
We'll see if there's any last question.
Kobus, we have to, I don't want to labor the point, but, there's another speaker coming on, PG. Wow, can't wait to hear him. Phenomenal speaker. So I just want to say this. Thanks for the platform. It's phenomenal to get our message out there. Thank you to all the support. Thank you for the people that signed in. Thank you for those that are still going to sign in. And to you, my man, I just want to pay tribute. You are an inspiration to me and to thousands and thousands and thousands. And your light will still shine way ahead. I'm still going to go through the Antarctic with your light ahead of me, brother. So I wish you also everything of the best. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank you for that word, man. I can't wait to come and walk in my fire, man. I need to do that. Freddy says, thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Okay, my friend.
You can't say no.
No,
you can't say no. It's yes.
Can't we do
it's yes shark, already.
Can't we do the shark dive first kind of thing? I'm less scared of that than what I am.
We can do that.
Yeah, I'll go there first.
We do that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Renee says Just quickly, Renee says, my email is sent, Graham. Looking forward to your change management course.
I've got you, Renee. Got you. No problem. Got you.
Okay. We have to say goodbye. The next speaker after this is PG Paradigm. Please go and join in. And I just want to say thank you for everyone joining. And Graham, last words, and then I'm stopping this call.
All right. See you soon. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.